Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Prime Mathematics. Today I'm going to discuss JEE Advanced 2025 Paper 2, question number 13. Here alpha is defined like this series, right, where the argument works from 0 to pi and argument of z works from minus pi to pi. This is the argument of omega and this is the argument of z. So if we try to understand this summation series, like if we know this series is nothing but a simple geometric progression, right? We put minus omega to the power n as 1, so you get minus omega, then you get minus omega square, then you get minus omega cube, and so on. Your last term is minus omega whole to the power 2025. Now the sum of the GPSN formula is nothing but it's actually one can say it is a r to the power n minus 1 upon r minus 1. So here we can see our r is minus omega, right? And minus omega modulus is nothing but, I think it's 1, right? So there's no need to just use have any kind of different formula. We'll use this formula only itself. So now it will be first term, it is minus omega, and the common ratio is minus omega whole to the power n. We are summing up to 2025, so the value of n will come out to be as 2025 minus 1 upon r minus 1, right? Now minus omega to the power 25 can just split out the negative sign outside the bracket, and omega to the power 2000. Now we see 2025 is a multiple of 3, right? So therefore it will be omega cubes times something, and if any multiple, we know that it is of the form like omega to the power 3k, it is equals to 1, right? So therefore we can clearly see that omega to the power 25 is nothing but simply 1. Minus 1 will be minus 2, and negative 2 negative omega will be plus 2 omegas, right? And in the denominator we have minus omega minus 1. Now we just try to substitute the value of cube root of unity. We know it's minus 1 by 2 plus iota root 3 by 2. In the denominator section, if we put this value, it will change the sign, right? And minus 1. So if we multiply 2 of the numerator over the denominator, means in the numerator section we get minus 1 plus iota root 3, because denominator 2 gets just cancelled out by the outside 2. And 1 by 2 minus 1 is minus 1 by 2, so it will be minus 1 plus iota root 3 whole common divided by 2. Now we can send this 2 over to the numerator and negative to the numerator. Negative sign of the denominator to the numerator part, we get 1 minus iota root 3, and the denominator 2 gets in the numerator, it will be 2, and we left with 1 plus iota root 3. Now if we rationalize this 1 plus iota root 3 by multiplying the negative term in the numerator and denominator, we get 1 minus iota root 3 whole square, and it will be 1 square plus root 3 whole square multiplied with 2. 1 square plus root 3 whole square will give you 4, and 2 2s are 4, right? And expand this, so it will be a square plus b square. So if you open this square, it will be iota square minus 1, root 3 square as 3, so it will be 1 minus 3 minus 2ab, and the denominator we have 2, so it will be minus 2 iota root 3 divided by 2, 2 gets cancelled out, so minus 1 minus iota root 3 is the value of our summation. So now we can just evaluate the value of alpha. So alpha is nothing but argument of minus 1 minus iota root 3, right? This is the expression which we are getting. So how to find the argument? Argument of minus 1 minus iota root 3. Now we see that according to Arrogant plane, this we have plus plus, here we have minus plus, and here we have minus minus, and here we have plus minus, right? So minus minus means it lies in the third quadrant, and the argument works like this, right? We have alpha as theta here. Theta is the argument. Alpha is like, we can calculate the value of alpha by finding the value of tan alpha, which is modulus of imaginary part of complex number divided by real part of complex number. And similarly, in the second quadrant, we have theta as pi minus alpha as per the rules of the Argand plane. And in the third quadrant, we have alpha minus pi as the argument. In the fourth quadrant is minus alpha. So this is your real part. This is your imaginary part, right? So first we try to calculate the value of tan alpha. So tan alpha will be modulus of minus root 3 minus 1, which will be root 3. And tan alpha is root 3 under alpha equal to pi by 3, right? As our domain of alpha is working under this minus pi to pi, so it is easy, right? We generally can find this alpha. Now to find the argument of minus 1 minus iota root 3, we see this clearly lies in third quadrant, right? So the argument will be alpha minus pi. So alpha is pi by 3 minus pi, which will be minus 2 pi by 3. So this is your final value of alpha. Now if we use this value over here, if we use this value in the section which we need to calculate, right? 3 by pi multiply with minus 2 pi by 3. Clearly pi cancel out, 3 cancel out, so we left with minus 2.00. This will be your final answer. I hope it's clear. If you have any query, you can comment in the comment box. Thank you so much.